Hi everyone, it's Monica, and welcome back to Tailor-Made Cards for You. Well, it's the beginning of May, and that means another page in my art journal. So this month we're going to go ahead and work on a page that actually was started some time ago. All of my pages in the past have been a blank slate, meaning that we started from scratch. But because I am trying to go in order, the next couple of pages already had some pages that had been started. And these pages have Dylusion ink spray on them. Now the two colors that you're seeing here are the London Blue and the Fresh Lime. And these two colors go really well together. To be honest with you, I don't have a lot of these Dylusion ink sprays on hand. And that's just because they are a little bit messy for my likings. But what I would recommend if you do use these paints, and the colors are vibrant and very beautiful, it's just very messy. But if you put on a rubber gloves, that will help the staining of your fingers. And then maybe you want to work in a box, so spray a little bit closer to your page. Or if you're like me and you like to hold your spray bottle a little bit farther away, maybe work in a box so your area doesn't get completely messy. So once I had my page completely dry, and again, I started out with this page, I went ahead and I started to work on my art journal. Now this month, being Mother's Day, I wanted to create some sort of a floral Mother's Day page. So the paper that I'm using is the tissue paper that you've seen me use in the past. And this is one of the newer products from the Holtz collection, and it is called Floral. They come in 4 different packages, and I will list those below for you so you can take a look at those. But I'm really enjoying working with these, and these not only are great for cards, but they work perfect on your art journal. Now there are several ways that you can cut out your images on this tissue paper. One way, of course, is just by using your scissors, and you can kind of fussy cut around your image. The second way is to tear it. So if you want to have a little bit of torn paper, you can just tear it when it's dry. But the way that I'm doing it here is by using a water brush. And because it's tissue paper, just the slight bit of moisture will tear it. And this allows me to actually trace around the image to get a nice focal point for my journal. Now the product that I'm using to adhere my tissue paper to my journal is my Distress Collage medium. And again, you've probably seen me use this product in the past. But really, when I find a product that works, I tend to stick with it. I know that there's so many products out there. But I have so much product to begin with. I don't tend to sway too far from what I'm used to. Now, if I am out of a product, I might try something new. But this Distress Collage medium has worked really well for me. Another thing that you could probably use for decoupaging, which is essentially what we're doing here, is Mod Podge. Mod Podge will work really well, and it will dry translucent for you. And that's really what you're looking for. You're not only looking for an adhesive, but you're looking for something that's going to dry translucent, so it won't show up on your image. It'll be just nice and clear, and your tissue paper will stick real firmly and make it look like it's part of the journal. It really blends in well, and it kind of looks like something that you might have stamped and painted because that tissue paper just blends so nicely into your journal. Now I knew that my intention was to add my tissue paper to the corners because I wanted to leave room for stamping in the middle. And having some nice crisp edges to go against my journal worked really nicely as well. All right, so once I had my tissue paper adhered using my Distress Collage medium, I did use my heating tool to dry it. I am going to start stamping, and I just wanted to make sure that my tissue paper was nice and dry because if there is some moisture, it might tear. So the next thing that I did to create some background is to use this oversized stamp. This is a stamp from My Favorite Things, and it has typewriter type. And it makes a really nice background. It's pretty subtle, but you get a nice background of typewriter type letters. I did use that stamp all over my open images because I am going to come back with another stamp set that you are probably very familiar with by now. And that, of course, is my Tim Holtz, etc. stamp set. I know that I share this stamp set a lot, but I'm sorry, you guys, it's my favorite. The images are so awesome, and you can get so much out of this stamp set. As you can see here, I'm not using the entire stamp on this particular image. I'm just using part of it. So not only can I use it as a focal point if I were to use the entire stamp, but I can just use it as an accent as well. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm just taking part of the stamp and I am using it on some of the open edges to just create an accent to my page. The set also comes with a couple of stamps that create great visual images. One of them is the 15-cent stamp that I'm going to be sharing with you in just a minute here. And then the other ones are a couple of round stamps that have like a silhouette background. There's more black in the stamp than white area, and it creates a nice dramatic image. The stamp set also comes with this number set, which is a great accent stamp as well. As a beginner, you might be a little bit intimidated by covering up some of the areas that you've stamped. But in art journaling, remember, you're creating a background and you want to have points of interest. So don't be afraid to stamp over images that you might have created. Like, for instance, I stamped over my floral here. Or when you're adding additional points of interest, like I'm doing here with the paper dolls, I'm going to be adhering them over some of my stamped area. But keep in mind, you're going for the total end result, not necessarily the piece by piece result. So every layer that you add, every image that you stamp is just adding to the overall interest of your page. So don't be afraid to layer your images or your stamps, because that's what's going to create a really nice background. Now, because this was such a bright and vibrant page, I didn't want to just leave my paper dolls black and white. So that's where I brought in some of my distress crayons, and I'm using them as watercolors to give some color to my paper dolls. This is a really nice technique because the color is very subtle. I didn't necessarily want to bring in my Copic markers. I just wanted a hint of color so that way it didn't look like a black and white image against my bright background. Now, the images that I chose for my paper dolls were intentional, and that's because I was raised with two other siblings. Me and my older sister are just, I think, 18 months apart, and then my younger sister is about 4 years younger than I am. So I wanted to kind of create my scene to mimic my growing up years, and that's why I chose my 3 images of the little girls. Now, the baby, of course, could be a little boy, but in my journal, that little baby that I'm going to be adhering here in just a minute is my little sister. So that's going to be depicting my mom as well as me with my 2 other siblings. I actually have this really great black and white image of me and my older sister when we were children. In the photo, we can't be more than a couple of years old. And I've actually used that photo on a birthday card that I made for my older sister one year. So if you don't have any of these paper dolls, don't be afraid to go into your photo stash. You probably have some great black and whites that you can use. You might not be able to color them up with the distress crayons as I did here because they're not going to be laminated, but they would make nice interest pieces as well, especially if you're creating a card or a journal such as I am to reminisce on some of your earlier years. So don't be afraid to dig into your photo stash. Now, another product that I have found working really nice for my art journal are these cling foam stamps. And these are the block letters. I know that there are some other styles out there. Some of them have the script, but I really like the look of the block letters. And this is something that I've used in my art journal a few times now. Honestly, I haven't tried it out on cards yet, and I'm not sure why I haven't. I probably am going to have to venture out a little bit more because this is a product that I really like for my art journals, and I think it would look great on some of my mixed media cards as well. The ink that I'm using to stamp my mom sentiment is the black Archival ink. And this is another product, again, that you probably have seen time and time again because it's a product that I stand by and I really like the results that I get with it. All right, so once I had finished stamping my mom sentiment, I wanted to add just one more thing, and that's where I decided to add some of the clipping stickers that would give me a little phrase or sentiment. And the phrase that I ended up adding for my journal is "Love is spontaneous, thinking of earlier days." And I thought this was appropriate not only for a Mother's Day page, but also because I was reminiscing about earlier days with me and my sisters. All right, so as always, I will leave a list of all the products that I've used to create this art journal, along with the links to the stores. If you've enjoyed the video, I would sure appreciate a thumbs up. And don't forget to leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought about this month's page. I also have a Facebook group that I've created where I would encourage you to share some of your creations. Hopefully through my monthly videos, I have inspired you to start an art journal of your own, and I would love to see some of your results. So I will leave a link to that Facebook group below as well. And don't forget, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you head out. Along with my monthly journal series, I regularly add posts about creating cards, mixed media projects, as well as some series. Every year I do an annual Halloween series, so you want to definitely be subscribed so you don't miss out on that towards the end of the year. All right, everyone, thanks so much for stopping by, and we'll see you again next month.